Let's
All
go.
right. The story I want to tell you is about alcohol. Alcohol restricts your fucking capillary. Alcohol causes dehydration, which in turn causes your capillaries to constrict. And as your heart is beating, you're constantly getting oxygenated red blood cells to your vital organs. And your capillaries are half veins where the red blood cells slide along and they oxygenate your liver and your kidney, and it's doing it all simultaneously around all your organs. When you consume alcohol, it causes dehydration and it causes those capillaries to constrict, where you're no longer getting oxygenated red blood cells to your vital organs, but you are getting restriction, and so therefore you die a little bit, and then your capillaries unconstrict as you're dying a little bit, and the more you consume, the worse it clenches onto your vital organs, and the worse your face droops, and the more you drive like a fucking lunatic, because you might as well have a noose around your neck and be trying to drive down the road, because you're doing the same thing head to toe. You're not just doing your head. Your head, if you had a noose around your neck, would at least cut off your oxygen to your target area, which is your brain, which is the part that you feel, and you feel like, ooh, it's the same sensation if you consume antifreeze. When somebody consumes antifreeze, the symptoms are exactly the same. You piss yourself, you slurred speech, staggering all over the place, because antifreeze causes the same process to happen, except more thoroughly, and it kills you faster. But if you use a dropper, you could fucking get a jar of tea and drop, and you could fucking stay schnockered the rest of your fucking life on a $20 can of Presto, and it's fucking gonna save you a fucking shit ton of money, and you're doing the same fucking thing as you're doing when you consume alcohol. And brandy, Everclear, moonshine, you put that in the freezer, what happens? Not a fucking thing. Nothing, because it's the same properties as antifreeze, and you're better off with the jug of antifreeze, because at least it only costs $20 and you can milk that motherfucker the rest of your fucking life. What do you prefer? It's all poison. And the ideation that Emmanuel turned water into wine is fucking ridiculous, because it's poison, man. And anybody in their right mind would not steer their people that way, man. I wouldn't. I love people, man. I'm a humanitarian. I believe in people. If they just believed in themselves, the world would be a better place. All that love that you think you owe the divine, love yourself like that, man. And I guarantee you won't fucking be schnockered or fucking beating your wife. Put your best foot forward, and being good will just happen. That's all you gotta do. You don't need nobody to tell you how to do that. You know how to be a good person. You know how to put your best foot forward and shine like a star. Do that. And you don't gotta go to church where they tell you all by yourself you're nothing but a dumb fuck. That's the underlying, the most powerful messages are the ones never spoken. What are you saying by what you are saying? What are you getting at? What Donald Trump, what do you need somebody to constantly stroke your ego for? Did your daddy not hug you enough? What the fuck's wrong with you? Why don't you believe in yourself? Where you don't need nobody else. I don't need nobody to sing my praises. I could stomp on the ground and make the fucking water ripple. I need nothing further. I am more than what I do. I'm more than what I don't do. Just because I don't drink alcohol doesn't make me any better than anybody else. I used to drink alcohol. I used to be a fucking dope addict. 8 years ago, I was. And if you would have saw me 8 years ago, you would have probably want to hang out with me. I don't know. I was a doper. I don't trust dopers. I don't trust alcoholics either. But we all fucking allow everybody else to control how we feel when it's operator error. You want to change how you feel, change how you think, change how you focus, change your drive, and then everything else will just fall into place. You're not a victim of your own emotions. They're yours. If you want to change your feelings and change how you function, change what you pay attention to, or at least acknowledge, hey man, you're getting yourself upset. I did this to myself. Regardless of what is happening, I allowed this and this and this and this to piss me the fuck off. I did that. It's my story. Let me deal with it, and it'll pass. We call ourselves how we feel. I'm mad. I'm sad. No, man. You're the same person that was inside your mother's womb before you had a feeling, before you had a name, before you had a gender, occupation, or sexuality, or any of the stuff we call ourselves. You were there. You were, as soon as the doctor could say, yep, he's there. That's your identity is safe and sound, regardless of what they named you, regardless of your summation of your doings, your win to loss ratio. You're more than that. You're more than numbers. I'm more than what you call me. If you could find my name in the dictionary, doesn't mean I'm there. It's my name. That's a word that you can get my attention. I am not my attention. I am a creature with infinite potential. And anything you call me besides that, even by implication, or you think I'm a punk bitch, I'm a creature with infinite potential, man. I ain't done yet. The song ain't over. Wait, it's gonna get better. But that we identify by falsely, we identify by what we do, by how we feel, tragedies that happen to us. You become a rape victim, you're eternally tarnished. No, man, you're the same person you were inside your mother's womb, regardless of the rape or not, or regardless of your job or not, or your homeless status, or whatever, your car. Fuck, it doesn't matter. You're the same guy you were before you had the job. You're going to be the same guy after. You identify by what I'm a husband, and then you lose your wife, and you feel like you lost part of yourself. And you were you the whole time before you were your husband too. You were also you. And you get married, and you're still you, regardless if she calls you husband or motherfucker. You're the same person, irregardless of how they get your attention. If you threw a pencil at me, I wouldn't be the pencil either. If you to get my attention, just because you have my attention doesn't mean you have all of me. Just it's my attention. I'm more than just my focus. I'm more than my morality. I'm more than anything that we all falsely identify. And it's a lie. We are not what we do. We are more than what we do, by far, by leaps and bounds. We are more than what we do. We don't know what we don't know, to the infinite. And as long as you had a birthday, you will never compare to infinite knowledge, because it is infinite. And you had a birthday. I had a birthday. Zeus had a birthday. Everybody's had a birthday. So no matter what, no matter who you are, it will always be, and that's okay to not have infinite knowledge. Because then what would you do? What would you do if you never had any problems? What would motivate you to make a difference? What would you win for if it didn't cost you nothing to lose? What would be the purpose? And that's what forgiveness would be bad for you. You gotta be a monster to be a monster. You gotta be strung out on dope to be strung out on dope, man. It's not all fun. I promise you. I know what it's like. But the people paint this picture: "Thou shalt not murder." Why would you want to? If you really didn't want people to murder, why would you paint the picture that it's so fucking optional? Why would you act like it's so hard to resist murdering someone? What are you trying to indoctrinate people with? Thou shalt not commit homosexuality. Thou shalt not covet thy fellow man's wife. Why would you want her, man? That means you want her for your own. That all you're gonna find there is problems. Why would you even paint the picture that you'd even examine the merchandise on that aisle if you're seeking loyalty and trust and respect? And why would you even look at another man's wife in that direction? Because you know what you're going to find there is distrust, and you're going to inherit somebody else's problems out the gate. And it's hard enough as it is, so why would you paint the picture that you shouldn't covet your fellow man's wife when it's absurd to even let that shit cross your mind? Especially if you're looking for love and loyalty. If you're looking for a fucking fling, then fucking have fun. But at least keep it real. Don't fucking lie. You shouldn't have to lie to get your way. You gotta lie about it. There's something wrong with you. Okay? Guilty people need secrets, not the innocent. And if you gotta keep your secret, you shouldn't be doing it. And it'll eat at you. That's the whole point. My ethical code is my ethical code. What I get through my life is my business. What I can look myself in the mirror and be okay with who I am is irrelevant to somebody else, because your moral code is your business. And how you look at yourself, if it bothers you to smoke weed, fucking smoke weed, man. And if it bothers you to do crystal meth, then do crystal meth, man. It should bother you, I think. But if it don't, that's your business. You gotta live with the consequences of what you do. You get to fucking. You have to be a dope addict to be a dope addict. The reward for being a good driver happens while you're driving. The reward for being a good husband happens while you're being a good husband, not the afterlife. That thing that we think we are is not a real thing at all. There's no way it's gonna come back in the afterlife. I'm not my personality. There's no way to construct a personality the same twice, man. You go through your life, you learn, your parents teach you, then your brain gets wiped clean and somebody else has to wipe your ass and teach you how to shit again. Your personality is going to be different on the other side. Because the upbringing brought you to what you are now, you get your memory wiped clean, you start over, and you got to do it all grown up. It's going to be different. Your love is not going to be there from your mommy when she's wiping your ass at fucking 25 years old or 30 or however old you are. When it happens when you're a child, your personality develops that way. But if you get your memory wiped clean and you got to start all over again, you're going to have a different personality in the end. So we are not that. And technically, we are all the same person having a multiple universal experience. That got crackhead over there smoking crack is you under different circumstances. That child molester over there, you under different circumstances. And we are so quick to judge, but we all operate off the same logic. We all give a power of how we feel away to every single person that comes along. And if this man wants to say my mother's a whore, or my daughter's a bliss, or my son's that, I'm going to proceed to snap it wide. When he could be crazy. Who gives a fuck what he says? Why should I allow this man to destroy my mood? Why should I allow that to happen when I have better things to do with my time than to give a fuck what he thinks about my mother or my daughter or my whatever? I am the driver of my destiny. And if I let this motherfucker, and that motherfucker, and that motherfucker, and everybody else have more control over me than me, guess where I'm gonna wind up? Probably in jail or doing some dumb shit, man. I want to control myself. I'm not the victim of my own emotions. They are mine. You gotta have you make bad choices to appreciate the good ones, but you gotta have equal. That's why I smoke tobacco as my bad choice. I do it on purpose so I can control the aftermath. When I thought I was perfect is what wound me up on heroin, and I'd rather smoke tobacco and use that as this is my bad choice. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna do this as my bad choice. That way I don't go off and do some dumb shit and let life fucking dictate where I'm gonna fuck up. Because who knows where that's gonna end up. At least I can control the aftermath to a certain degree with tobacco. And I do it on purpose. I smoke tobacco on purpose so that I don't go fuck my life up and make a bad choice in some department that I can control the aftermath. And it's been working so far.
That's good, bro.
Anyway, that's my story.